Okay, so we're working today on this part of the cup, teacup, because last week we didn't have enough time to finish. So we're just gonna kind of try to darken a bit this side. And I'm mixing burnt umber, ultramarine, burnt umber, ultramarine violet, white, and I have titanium buff on the side just in case. But for now, I'm using burnt umber, ultramarine violet, and white. And it's kind of like a glaze. Now I know for sure that this is going to dry darker as usual. And that's okay. I'm using a soft round brush. I'm going to start adding a bit of white in here just to soften the transition from dark to light. Again, some more white. Oh, that's too much. Okay. You know, I have to say, this is not an easy project.
Really?
No, it's not. It's not an easy project. It's like every time I work with white.
Whites are hard.
Whites are hard, yes. And I'm getting right now more of a kind of a purple color.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's okay. It doesn't matter because I can always, after when it's completely dry, all I'm trying to do right now is get the darks and the lights, my values. And then after, when it's dry, if I find that I need to add another color to change it, change it from purple to blue, or, all of these colors that I'm putting right now, if I need to change them, that's okay. I'll change them after. I can glaze the colors I want after. But for now, I just want to get the shape going. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna change my brush. Okay, let's see with this one here. Yeah, that's better for blending. This one. I think last week we used, did we use cerulean blue and white?
Yeah,
for the cup?
yeah.
For
That's
the
why
cup?
we end up with this blue color.
That's okay. Okay, we'll what I want to do right now is just make sure that my values are right. Okay, all right, it's better. That looks much better. highlights a bit more on this side, because this is where the light is hitting this part. So I'm adding a little bit more white. That gives me a good shape. Okay, good. Right. Ingrid,
Yes.
you're good with porcelain.
What?
You're good with porcelain, painting porcelain.
Oh, no.
No, you are. Do you use blues when you're painting porcelain?
Um, no.
No?
No.
Okay. Maybe with watercolor is a bit different. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Watercolor, I leave a lot of white. The paper color.
Yeah. Okay. So
I know what you mean. The blue. Yes. The teacup. Yes. I have used blue. Yes.
you have blues in it, right?
Yes.
Because
yes.
I'm thinking that teacups usually they have, I mean, not teacups, porcelain, they
Yeah.
have that hint of blue in them,
Yes. When I
the white.
yeah, when I did that teacup thing, yeah, I did use blue. Yes. Because it was full of
Okay.
flower, like it was kind of flow blue.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is good. All right, I'm going to stop here. Okay, so cerulean blue, titanium buff, burnt umber, and it's really like a glaze. It's a lot of cerulean blue. So I'm taking cerulean blue, dip my brush in a bit of water, put some cerulean in here, and burnt umber. So cerulean, the blue is going to tip the brown into a bit more of a cooler color. And then I will highlight over this. It will dry darker. Sometimes, you know, when you go to a different side of the cup or the saucer of the object, the color change a bit. It becomes cooler or warmer. I can see here that it's a bit warmer here and deeper right here. So I'm using a bit of burnt umber in there. Okay. Again, just a bit more of the burnt umber in here. Finding that, whoops, I have to be very careful here because I'm finding that it's not dark enough. Let's take burnt umber, cerulean blue, and darken this a bit more. Because this dark, it's going to make it look like it's curved in. Otherwise, it will look flat. Okay, I think that's better. And the other thing is I do sometimes is I highlight, put the highlight where it's supposed to be, then the dark will look even darker. So this is why right now here, it doesn't look dark enough, but if I highlight this part, this will look darker. Right, okay, let's continue now before the paint dries. Okay. Now this area here, right here is really dark. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take burnt umber a bit more burnt umber and blue, cerulean blue. Again, yes, with the tip of my brush. See, that's like a gray color. So burnt brown and blue will give you a very dark gray, or sometimes black, almost black, depending on the browns and the blues you're using. That needs a tiny bit, this is too blue right now, so too gray. So I'm gonna put more brown in here, burnt umber. Let's see, better. Yeah, a little bit better, more, whoops, more. Okay, so let's do that. And let's see how it goes. Yeah, that's good. That looks good. So this is the first layer, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to titanium buff. Pick up some titanium buff in here. Maybe a bit of white too. And okay, clean my brush a bit and try to, oh, that's too light. Okay. Saucer has a very interesting kind of movement. It dips in. Okay, and more here, darker, right here, a little bit more dark in here. And right here too. So I'm using titanium buff, burnt umber, and cerulean blue, and I'm just increasing the amount of titanium buff or increasing the amount of the burnt umber and cerulean blue. Okay. Let's take that. Okay, let's go back to here. And just kind of soften this a bit. Because when it's drying harsh. I can see the brush strokes. Okay, that's better. Okay, now we can highlight. I'm cleaning my brush. And I think I'm going to change my brush. Let's take this one here and see if it works. I think it will work. Maybe. All right, before we do anything, I'm just going to take again burnt umber and cerulean blue. Because I see a very strong, I'm assuming it's either a shadow right here, or it is actually the saucer is lined with a beautiful gold rim,
Yeah, it looks like a gold rim.
right? It's a gold rim. Okay, so
Yeah.
we can just kind of,
Looks like it.
I will put the gold over that later on. Just kind of a dark, I'm just putting a bit of a dark in there. Okay. Okay. All right. Now let's try to highlight a bit. So to do that, this is a round brush. So I'm going to take titanium buff. I'm dipping my brush in water and I'm going to take the same gray I used before for the darks and just add titanium buff in it. More titanium buff. I might have to add white, but I'll see how it goes. Because I can see the highlight over here is not strong. It's not a sharp highlight. It's a very soft, lighter color. So I'm just keeping it with the titanium buff mixed with the gray. You know what? I might have to add a bit of white because it's not showing at all. So I'm using a bit of white in my titanium buff. Yeah, that's better. Now, because it's wet, what I'm going to try to do is get a dry brush and just soften the edge right here with a dry brush. And there we go, voila. I don't have a strong, sharp edge. Perfect. Okay, keep that brush ready and go back to this one because we're going to repeat the same thing. Because of course we all know that acrylic dries darker. I'm trying to soften all the edges here. This edge, the inner one, inside the saucer. Yeah, that's working. Oh, that's awesome. All right, let's take again. And here, there's a shape that I have to keep in mind. This shape is higher here, and then it goes down this way. Again, take a bit of white. I'm dipping my brush in a bit of water, mix my white with the titanium buff and the cerulean or the gray I have there. Again, every time before I load my brush with color, I dip it in water because I really want a glaze. I don't want heavy. Okay, again. So maybe higher. Maybe this should be a bit higher here. So if I want to highlight a bit more, make it lighter than what I have here, I wait for the paint to dry. And then I can see when it's dry, I can see how much I need to highlight, how dark, how light it should be. Okay. Now here is not completely flat like this. It has movement. I can see, actually, before I do anything, I'm going to go and highlight this part and around here. And then slowly push my color in softly. So by doing this, I'm pushing the color in, but at the same time, I'm using the color I have on my brush. And the more I use it, the softer and less of it I'm going to get on this side here, which is supposed to be darker. There. This part here has a bit of raw sienna in it because of the arm. It's gold. So I have gold in here, reflection all over. Okay. We can ignore that, or we can put it in. But whatever we do, we have to fix this. There's a strong shadow right here and a strong shadow right there. And this triangle is lighter. Okay. Fix the raw sienna. Bit of raw sienna. And let's see. We mix raw sienna with a bit of brown. I can't mix my raw sienna with cerulean because it'll turn green. And let's put some titanium buff, or just raw sienna and titanium buff maybe. Yeah. Bit of white. Let's see. Not bad. Okay, let's go back to our gray. Oh, before we do this, before I do that, let's put a bit of that same here. Okay, so now this part here is very flat. So what I'm gonna do, clean my brush, go back to titanium buff, cerulean blue, burnt umber. Try to soften this transition right there. It doesn't matter what color I'm using here, as long as I soften the transition. It's shadowy, darker, but it's not harsh dark. So again, you can see from when you're looking at this reference that all of the shadows and lights are, there's a play of shadows and lights, but they're soft because the cup itself is dainty. It's soft. It's not a harsh kind of material. It's ceramic itself. Let's see here. And hopefully it will dry soft enough. All right, now this one here, I can see that it's too dark. So again, I'm going to take the same gray, cerulean, burnt umber, put a bit of white and a bit of titanium buff in here. Have to make sure it's not too light, just the right amount of, or more, it needs more burnt umber in here. Just the right amount of highlight. A little bit more white. It's easier when the color is wet to do soft edges. Right, so again, one more time, white with my gray, and I'm just gonna come here and highlight again the rim. See, like this part right now, I'm looking at it, it's drying harsh right there. So that's okay. I'll do that again in a minute. let's highlight this part, the bottom part. Again, this is very soft highlight, soft edges. Bit more white into my gray. And all of this is right now, what I'm doing is actually glazing. There's no thick paint in here. So you see, I'm adding my highlights slowly. I'm doing this on purpose. I'm leaving a bit of lines in here just to make it look more, so it's not too flat. Okay, again, in the back here, which I don't have to do, but it'll be nice. Okay. Again, I have to wait for the color to dry again, and then see if I need to highlight more. Maybe this one here. I'm just adding a bit of white, more white with gray, not white by itself. Perfect. It's looking good. Okay. Leave it like that. Okay, so for the sugar cubes, I have cerulean blue, burnt umber, and titanium buff. But it's more, and you can see it's like quite dark on this side. And this is just our first layer. It might need a tiny bit of, ultramarine violet, which will be nice in here. But I don't have to put it right now. I can put it when I'm highlighting. Okay, now dip my brush, same mixture, and we'll work on this. And I am doing this brush stroke on purpose, which is more like kind of a dabbing because of the texture of I don't want to do a smooth brush stroke. So it really makes a big difference. Okay, so now I'm going to add, let's take titanium buff, mix it, put it in the same mixture. But I am going to bring in a touch of ultramarine violet in there too. So let's see, should get a, yeah, that's a gray. That's okay. First layer, gray is fine.
This ultramarine violet and
It's the same mixture of the original mixture is cerulean blue, burnt umber, and titanium buff, and I'm adding a touch of ultramarine violet in there. So the same gray we had before, but with a bit of ultramarine blue in it. Touch, not much. Okay, that's good. Now again, the same one at the bottom. Although this is a bit dark, but that's okay. We will be highlighting soon. I am seeing a bit of red in there, but I'm going to ignore that for now. I'm just going to take white right now. Let's mix our white with burnt umber and see if we, yeah, white and burnt umber. And that will need more highlights. Again, I'm going to take white, burnt umber. I'm going to come here. Dab with my round brush, dab on my highlight. So I will repeat this several times, and every time I do that, I add a bit of more white. And then the last couple of dabs, it will be just white. I am going to be working on the background again. So I'm not too concerned about the edge of those cubes for now. It's good that those cubes are not straight, like too straight. Okay, now the same thing I'm using the same burnt umber and white, but a little bit more burnt umber in here. All right, that's good. That's very, very good. top part is a little bit darker. Now I have to actually add more white now and go back to this. This is burnt umber and white. That's it. Nothing else for the highlights. I'm not going to take the highlight all the way down. I'm just keeping them mostly up here. This is really too white on the monitor right now, way too white. It's not that white in here. So just keep in mind, it's a bit darker. So now I have a really nice kind of texture. What I like to do is take white, just white, with nothing else, no other color. And then it's better if I wait and not do it right now, at least for the, yeah, I'll wait for the color to dry and then just put a couple in just pure white, couple of dots. The other one will be the same. Actually, I should be doing right now is just add the base color. Burnt umber, white, that's it. Not using anything else. The light is too strong in here. The camera usually compensates for whatever lighting around me, so I have to keep in mind. Okay, that's better, a little bit better, but it's not, still not enough. So we can work on this next week because it's really kind of an easy thing to do. And finish the cubes, and then we'll start working on the actual yellow gold color. Oh, geez. It's okay. All right. So this will look darker once I highlight this part. Okay, good. It's looking good.